Yes, guys, welcome back to the Full Time Devils podcast, iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, Audio Boom, YouTube, wherever you're tuned in today. Thank you very much for joining us. Make sure you're rating, subscribing, reviewing, liking, and all that jazz. Today, we are joined by myself, Adam McCullough, Jay, Andy Tate, and of course, Gaz. Drinkwater is in the house as well. Getting closer to the deadline. Obviously, when you're listening to this, the deadline might have passed by now, but we're getting closer to the deadline as we record this. And as it stands, we're knocking back bids for Smalling. We're not signing anyone else. Harry Maguire was the last bit of business. Lads, how are we all feeling about it all?
What do you reckon the chances are that we sign someone else in the next 48 hours? Or less than 48 hours?
It's about...
Or is it 36 hours?
25 hours. Well, 28 hours we've got now. 28
hours left of the transfer window.
I don't know, man. I think there might be a little twist in the tail there.
I had, you know what? I had this weird feeling that there's defo a midfielder coming, but now we're too late.
People listening to this after deadline is deluded. Listen to them. But I don't know. I think there might be someone. We need someone. Obviously, we all know that. But I think there might be another midfielder come out of it. We just wasted 12 hours on Ericsson.
What was
that about? Was that nonsense?
This Dybala and Ericsson.
Bit bored on a Monday.
Dybala and Ericsson though were both weird ones. They were going for a little bit and then they just vanished completely. And now they're telling us both of those deals are off. But how can Lukaku? What's the situation with Lukaku then? Because if Inter don't come in for him and he still goes Juventus, then what, are they going to give us some money for him, or is it going to be a swap deal still?
Whatever happens with Lukaku now, once the window closes, if he goes, we're not replacing him.
No,
and that's a big problem for United.
Yeah, I agree.
Do you think with the whole Lukaku thing, can you see, because Italy's window shuts after ours, doesn't it?
September the 2nd, I think.
So,
but September.
It's still a 3-week window for Europe, innit? Do
you think like that maybe Inter or whoever are thinking, right, we'll get him after the English window shuts, we can still get him, sort of thing?
But I think that
he's just being a bit of a muppet because he thinks, well,
he is
I'll
a
just
muppet.
Force it.
What does he need to do to force it? We've already clearly accepted that he's leaving.
But like, obviously, the
if Inter can't pay for you, then sorry, mate, you got to stay where you are. And the thing that I'm unhappy with, we hear people talk about Paul Pogba and whatnot, and he probably wanted to transfer this summer. I'm not going to say he probably doesn't want to play for Man United, because I believe deep down somewhere he wants to play for Manchester United, but he wants to leave United for the sake of winning trophies. We're not going to be winning trophies anytime soon, unfortunately. Well, we might win the league this season, but that's a little bit of a push.
You've got us down for the quadruple, haven't you?
Yeah, don't ruin the preview for the people at home. We did a season preview
all
earlier.
3 cups. That'd be nice.
So I just feel Lukaku's just taking the piss a little bit. And I just think Pogba, yeah, great with him. It's not ideal. He wants to leave. But he's got his head down, not missed a session in pre-season, kept going. And if he's still a Man United player, I have no doubt he'd work hard for us. I used to think Lukaku was that kind of guy. Because when his form was out the window, when fans were on his back, when, he was getting picked out wide or whatever, he's still putting a shift for us a little bit. And I just feel he's just a bit of a prick.
Do you know what? You're right, because I remember Lukaku, me and Tommy would sit with Old Trafford, always joke about the fact that, when you used to chant his name, he'd acknowledge it almost all the time.
Yeah.
Like, he'd wave to the fans. Like, strikers don't normally do that because he get chanted quite a lot, like Rooney never did it, or very rarely. But Lukaku used to give you a wave and all that. Like, you could see he looked grateful, like you say, he looked hungry. He'd try, no matter, even if his touch and all the rest of it was letting him down, he looked like a player who gave a shit. When we scored, he'd go mad celebrating. He looked like he cared. So it really surprises me the way he's gone about it, because I think his attitude and the way he's acted with the stuff he's been posting on social media stinks.
I think maybe Ollie's just said to him, if you're going to be here this season, you're going to be a first team. You're not going to be a first teamer. You're not going to be in the 11 every week. And he just cannot wrap his head around that.
I think that's fair, though.
Look at my goal scoring record. Like, look, I've done it at the top level. I've done it at the World Cup. I've done it for Belgium. And then you're like, yeah, but did you actually watch your games back last season at times? There were times last season where he didn't even look like a proper footballer.
I know this. I've said this on the podcast before. I don't think Ollie handled him very well in terms of his playing him. He played him. He dropped him, right, which is fair enough, because Marcus and Martial was obviously his preferred, and Jesse was preferred 3 or whatever. He brought him back in. He scored. I think he scored 6 in 3 games, didn't he? Then he dropped him. Then he was playing like almost out wide. Didn't really get a chance. And I was like, I just don't think he's been managed that well in terms of like, I thought when we needed him, when he deserved the game, he didn't get one. But for me, there's no excuse for the way he's been acting.
What do you make of Lukaku, Andy?
I think he's dug himself a grave now, and he's going to have to lie in it if he can't leave in the next 24 hours. And he'll be moaning all season, and he's not being professional about it. He's just not being professional. Professional players knuckle down, get on with it. Like I say, Pogba wants to go, but he's been professional. He's getting on with it. And Lukaku, like I say, he's dug a grave for himself, lying it. Got no sympathy for him at all.
I think I'd agree. I think he's just got to put up with being a bit choice striker for the next
What I would
season.
like to see from him is, if we didn't sell him, which I don't think is going to happen now, when you see him training with Anderlecht and all this
What's
kind of
that
stuff.
all about, by the way?
And look, from a professional point of view, you can understand it from Lukaku. He wants to stay fit. But also, if you want to stay fit, go back to Carrington.
Yeah.
The problem is, like Andy says, you've made a bed for yourself now where you've been revealing stuff about your teammates that they probably didn't want revealed. You've probably got a bollocking for that from the club.
Definitely, yes.
And now
Definitely.
you've your tail's between your legs and you've scarpered back off to Belgium. He just needs to go, I think. But it's a shame because as a plan B, as a backup option, I don't think the level of striker Lukaku is. He should be a backup for anyone. He should be the striker that you kind of build your team around, and that's what he clearly wants. But imagine if we had him as a result, he didn't leave, and we had him as a backup to Rashford, to Martial, coming off the bench, or starting every other game or whatever. That's a great striker to have in your complement of strikers. So it's a weird one. I'd be more than happy for him to stay, but after all of this, not anymore, really.
You don't want it as well. There's an element of what sort of an example is he saying. You got all these youngsters, we were talking, about the youngsters coming through and all the rest of it. Here's a guy that's just gone about everything the completely wrong way. Pretty much undermined the manager. Spatter's done me out of his teammates. Just been a bit of a muppet on.
He's playing like Falcao did for us though, and he speaks like he's Zlatan. It is mental. It is mental. Like it's nuts. I don't know how he goes on. Like he's got an incredible like. Bruv, if you don't see your own first touch, I don't know what is right. And I don't like to dig out at that because you know what, it becomes a little bit of a thing where it just becomes that. But it's true as well.
You like to see confidence as well from strikers, especially. They should always think they're min, no matter what fans are saying about
I think
them.
he feels disrespected by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
Yeah,
I think he feels you've got a manager.
That's how he feels.
No. I
think he feels that. I don't think that. I'm not saying that, but I think he thinks.
Totally agree.
A manager's coming that probably isn't worthy. He probably thinks you're a Man United manager. I've
After
just been firmly up Mourinho's arse.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I think he's seen Oli come in. He's changed from Lukaku, you're no longer first choice. Rashford and Martial's first choice. And I think he's probably thinking, Rashford don't score as many goals as me. Martial, and he's right to think that because they don't. But they offer more in terms of performance.
Do you see anything into it as well? Like, I don't know, and this is what I'm asking. Do you remember at the Emirates when he passed it to Jesse scores? Like, that's mad disrespect, isn't it? Like, that's embarrassing. Do you see anything? Do you think that he's genuinely not liked by his teammates? Because to be stood there with your arms out and watch your teammate run past you and go and do a dance in the corner
It's the funniest video.
I think Jesse just had a plan. I think it looks really bad after it as it unfurled. But I think Jesse knew I'm going to this dance.
You've got to put yourself in the footballer's
Lukaku
shoes.
didn't know that he's going to go and do that dance.
Put yourself in Lingard's body a second and just imagine it. Like you're not even focusing on Lukaku. You're focusing on the corner.
It just looks bad visually to see him sort of stood there.
If I'm in Jesse Lingard's body, I'm probably DMing Jenna Frooms right now. Sorry. What?
You are?
What? I don't know what you're on about there, mate.
Imagine him being Jesse Lingard.
So Lukaku. So Lukaku might be going, but as a backup option, we've still got Mason Greenwood in the team for the next season. How many games can we play a 17?
Is it a mistake we haven't replaced Lukaku, assuming he goes?
Yeah, totally. But it's too late to replace him now.
We're forgetting
so it's
someone
have to be
else
Mason.
as well, though.
Go on.
We've got Sanchez.
Wow, yeah, I am forgetting someone else.
We are forgetting that, even though he's pro.
For good reason.
For good reason, yeah. But we've got two backups in any other team in the world would get into just like that. But we've got, say, two like B squads now, aren't they? We're relying on youngsters to go forward, and that's the way everyone's happy about it.
I mean, we've criticised Sanchez, haven't we? But what do we think of him as a backup option?
It's weird because on paper, Lukaku and Sanchez at one point were the best strikers in the league.
Exactly.
The best strikers in the league.
It's mad. The numbers like with Lukaku, they're still sick. 20, 26, 113 or some Premier League goals. His numbers
are incredible. But he changed the way he plays for United. He's turned into this big lump up top. Doesn't move. Isn't quick anymore. Doesn't use his strength. He's gone. When Memphis came, he turned into this big. And it's like, bruv, why are you going so hench? Like.
Yeah. Do you think that was? And I hate doing this because I think Jose Mourinho becomes a bogeyman for everything. Sometimes it's like every problem we have with Jose. But do you think there's an element of Jose tried to make him into a player?
No, because Memphis did that under Van Gaal, but I kind of
do you know, like,
tried to turn him into Drogba.
Yeah, like you're the sort of like the one that leads the line.
Coach,
you hold it up.
Coach his instinct out of it, maybe.
Instead of playing him nice through balls like he was at Everton, he runs onto. It was let's fire up balls.
But if you remember the first season when Zlatan and Pogba were together,
yes,
Zlatan should have had 40 goals that season. The way Pogba kept finding him. But the thing with Zlatan was he was moving.
Yeah.
Lukaku does not move. So you can't blame. It's not like we kept pushing the ball out wide and swinging it in on his head because we didn't have the players to cross the ball in anyway. But when Pogba's on the ball, he was never moving.
That telepathy between Pogba and Zlatan, that is what we really miss in this team.
It's mad, isn't it? Like, I think out of all the players United have had, I think I've probably got the most rose-tinted glasses for Zlatan because I just look back at him with such fondness and like.
He was rubbish at the end, don't get me wrong. He was rubbish for a month or two at the end.
He was amazing, he was great, but there was a lot of times when you were like...
But what I liked about Zlatan was when he underperformed in terms of goals, assists, maybe just being misfiring a little bit, he made up for it in movement off the ball, bullying defenders, making it hard for defenders. I know I sound like David Moyes there, but... It's like they were always in a battle. Do you know what I mean? He was always digging his elbows into someone.
Do you know what I love about Zlatan? Right, he's the only player I've ever seen in my entire life have a shit game and score a hat trick.
Yeah,
I've never seen anyone do that before, and he did that. Like, if it was a penalty, a free kick, and a tap
against Olympiacos.
Yeah, it was like I can't remember. It was in the Europa. Yeah, he had a stinker, and yet he still scored 3 goals in the game. Like, which is great. Do you know what I mean? It's a sign of like a top quality player. If you can, we all know his Zlatan, didn't we? We got him a bit late, but just talking about like Lukaku. I was reading an article in The Athletic. Adam Crafton has written something in there, and he was saying that Lukaku and Solskjaer just aren't even talking to each other.
Yeah, I can see that. Like I say, I think that's what it is. When Solskjaer came in, he said, "You're not my number one," and he got really offended by that. Yeah. Which is a shame because Lukaku, he seems like he is a really intelligent guy. The guy can speak about 26 languages. And you just think he'd be able to watch his performances and understand where he's lacking. And it just seems like it's not even going in and he's just thinking, fuck you.
It's a little bit of arrogance as well. I don't even think he'll be in the...
I never thought of Lukaku as arrogant. I never thought of him like that.
Lukaku, he won't be at the stadium.
Mate, he'll be in his Anderlecht shirt.
But I'll say this, your man will be top goal scorer in Serie A next year.
Do you think, though...
What about Cristiano Ronaldo?
Do you think United were right?
Who's he? Never heard of him.
Do you think, with all that in mind...
No, yeah, obviously.
United were right to pull the plug on the Dybala deal?
Well, I was just going to mention that because Evra's been on... Patrice Evra. We know he's close to Woodward. We know he's close to Ollie. He's been on Instagram and he's put out there, for all the football agents around the world, Manchester United will never be your bank account. You come here because you respect the badge and you die... and you want to die winning trophies. Has he been... have we seen something going on at United this summer that maybe wouldn't have gone on last summer or summer before in terms of a Manchester United that has knocked players back they feel aren't in it for the club? And it's weird because obviously footballers are all... It's all jobs, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we've still got footballers left on our cards that probably don't want to be here or are here for the wrong reasons.
There's two ways of looking at it, innit? Because I totally agree. I think we had the deal agreed with Dybala, but he was asking for too much money. It didn't seem like he wanted to be here. We said no. I think a similar thing's happened with Eriksen. Reports today saying that he had his heart set on Real Madrid. So Woodward's gone, but no, you're not coming Man United then.
But Paul Pogba's got his heart set
exactly.
on
Now,
Real
there's two ways of looking at it, but you can also look at the way of the players that Manchester City signed from 2008 to 2013. Do you think they wanted to play for Manchester City?
But it's the reasons they were signed. They were signed
Company
as
Silver
part.
Aguero.
No, but I'm not. Hear me out. They weren't signed just for the money. We didn't just go there because here's 100 grand a week. They went there because they had people telling them this is the project to be a part of. We're building a team that's going to win trophies. At Manchester United, I don't feel there's anyone giving that impression off from the directors, from the board, from within, from outside of the manager and his team. I don't think there's anyone that stinks of success at Manchester United that says, if you join me, we're going to win trophies together. You don't seem to get that impression.
I think back to 2008. I think in my head, in 2008, it was more unlikely that City were going to win the league in the next 5 years than it is now that United are going to win the league in the next 5 years.
Yeah,
I think we can definitely win the league in the next 5 years if we do Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's plan.
Just on that Dybala front, Mitten did an article. Read this in the Athletic as well about it, and he said that Dybala wanted to be United's second highest paid player behind Sanchez.
So United's top highest paid player, really.
But yet again, Sanchez's wages causing issues.
And it was about the demand so extreme, it threatened to bust even United's wage structure.
That's mad.
Now, I mean, that says it all, doesn't it, really, for starters, that he's asking for that sort of money. We know what happened with Sanchez. We know that caused ructions. We were all talking about it, weren't we, with Pogba and all the rest of it. But Mitten's written that in the Athletic. Now that's just on the subject of that. I don't know if you heard about the Athletic. They've signed up a few.
They're building they're building a dream team of journalists, aren't they?
I think Ornstein, Mitten, Adam Crafton's gone over there. There's quite a few over there. Now we've actually teamed up with them a little bit because you don't know. Not heard about
signing me.
Signing Adam McCullough on a 4-year contract. He's not quite on the same money as Dybala.
Best mates with Fergie.
That was a weird experience. That
I know he even sounded like me for just a couple of seconds.
Like weird, man. We can stop putting Andy Tate on the podcast. We'll just get Market to do it.
Frightening.
But yeah, the new sports publisher in the UK, and they've got we've got like a world class team of writers and people like Andy Mitten. You know, you're going to get decent United coverage as well. So it's a subscription based service. So like you sign up to it, so it doesn't mean you don't get any ads or pop ups or any of that jazz. And we've got a code from them. So if you visit www.theathletic.co.uk/FTD, that's all lowercase, you get a 30-day free trial and 50% off a year's subscription, which makes it £2.50 a month. So if you use that code, you can.
So what's that? Theathletic.co.uk/FTD.
Yeah, /STD, all lowercase.
Make sure you check out the T's and C's when you sign up to it. But it's a 30-day trial that you get with it.
Free 30-day trial, £2.50 a month. I mean, they're Athletic. The slogan is "Welcome to the new home of football writing." So you check that out yourself. You'll see what they're on about.
Big revolutionary thing, innit? Give it a go for a month. See if you want to be involved with it.
Honestly, we've been checking out decent articles on there, and like I said to you, with the likes of Mitten and a few others, you're gonna get decent. I think
coverage. It is. That's an. I know it's going off topic, but the Athletic is interesting because I have often thought recently that traditional journalism is dead. Like newspapers are dead. Like,
don't say it.
The way the Sun get their
BBC radio.
I know what you're going to say next.
The way
radio is dead.
I don't think the radio is dead though because of driving. But the way the Sun get their figures up for the sales is they give millions away in airports and this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
So they don't actually sell as many as they claim to sell. So when they say they're the best-selling newspaper, they're not actually. They are the most read because there's a lot of bellends in this country.
Yeah, don't buy the Sun in my opinion.
Like it's interesting now that you've got a subscription-based, online-based newspaper almost.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
You know what they've done though? Like someone with Athletic, they're getting all this hype. A lot of people talk about them because they go out there and they get the top journalists, the top sports journalists that you know and you recognise, and then they get them to write it for you, rather than coming along with clickbait, getting the clicks, and then employing. Do you know what I mean? Like, but it does worry me a little about journalists. Obviously, I'm a journalist. I was a reporter for years, and it's a struggle. It was a struggle with reporting.
Then you ended up here.
And then ended up
sat between it was a struggle.
Adam McCullough and Andy Tate. And it's like, do you know what? I remember I always say this when we used to go out when I used to work as a reporter. We used to go out in this bus to schools. Don't worry, I've been CRB'd.
I was gonna say.
And we used to talk to kids about getting into journalism. So I remember going into school once.
Came to my school when I was 10.
He did. And he said like, "Who's the most famous person you've ever interviewed?" Right? And that. Name drop, but I said Wayne Rooney or
Clang.
Or David Cameron interviewing the politics, and one of them said, "Have you ever interviewed Andy Tate?" And you know the sad thing was, I had.
I thought you were going to say the sad thing was I hadn't.
No, I had.
Highlight.
Yeah, so I was like, yes. Yeah, they were loving it.
Career highlight.
But
right.
no, yeah, Dybala's not happening. We know that. Eriksen's not happening. We know that. Is there anyone else that could be under the radar?
We don't know. It could.
Have you heard of anyone else, Mac?
Mate,
Come on, you're right.
I said it. I said it this last summer. If we didn't sign a centre back, we weren't going to do anything. And I felt the same this summer about a central midfielder and a centre back still. But what's happened is our ineptness in past windows is catching up with us in these windows. This window, we shouldn't have been relying on signing a centre half. We should have been focusing on replacing Matic. But instead, because we had homework left over from last week. You know what I mean? We had homework left over from last week. We got this week's homework, and we got next week's homework dropping in 2 days. So it's like trying to juggle all this and catch up. It's just not happening. And United
they've had all summer to do this, and Ollie wanted it all done before the pre-season tour, and it wasn't even done.
But I'm not blaming Ollie, by the way.
I'm not blaming Ollie.
I'm not blaming, but he said recently, we've got no time left now. The deadline's here. I'm thinking, bruv, you lot know.
Exactly.
Ed Woodward knows transfer season's coming soon. Why not sound out Crystal Palace in April and say, yo, Palace, let's get these negotiations started right now for Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Aaron Wan-Bissaka was always going to come to Man United.
Yeah, no,
Harry
right.
Maguire was always going to come to Man United.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
These are easy deals that have taken us all summer.
We've got bankers that are negotiating transfers,
Right.
not sports people, and all they want to this is last summer's caught up with them now. They were embarrassed last summer, and the team suffered for it, and there was absolute uproar, and the penny dropped with them. Oh God, what we're going to do? We got to appease the fans, and now they're still doing it though. It's penny pinching. Every penny counts at that club.
You got to wait. You know what? The whole going back to what you were saying then about the midfield, it's madness, you know. And I think they get away with it, right? The fans not all fans, but some fans believe the sort of narrative of we got rid of Fellaini and everyone was like, oh, he's not good enough anyway, who cares? Right? Most people were. Then Herrera goes and it's like, oh, he's too greedy. We offered him a deal, but he was going to get more at PSG, so, good riddance. And you look at you've lost two experienced midfielders who played a lot for Manchester United, and you've not replaced them. And it doesn't look like we're going to. And yes, you've got Maguire, you've got Aaron Wan-Bissaka and Daniel James. That's not going to sort out your midfield problem. And as much as we rate Scott McTominay, I think we all do.
No,
why have we not bought a midfielder?
I like Scott McTominay. I see him as an ideal squad player.
Right, there you go, a squad player.
Right now, he's our first choice with Pogba.
That's what I mean. And it's like, how have we got to the point where we've sold 2 first-team midfielders?
And we're about to sell our main striker.
Yeah.
And not replace any of them.
I think
that is fucking madness.
I think your likes of Pereira, Ollie really rates. And I think he's going to get loads of games next season.
I love Pereira.
I'm not sure about.
He's absolutely mint, and him.
Is he?
Him and Fosu Mensah have long been my favourite youngsters to come out of that era of youngsters in the academy. But the thing with Pereira is mint in pre-season when there's no pressure on.
Yeah.
He's mint in reserves when there's no pressure on, and he can mess around trying to score corners. Whenever the big games have come for United, he hasn't delivered. He's the pre-season Pirlo. He's amazing in in pre-season.
Unless you play Southampton and score for that 35 yards.
Yeah, so that's the thing about midfield. There's too many questions. We could have brought in say Eriksen or a Fernandes or someone in that attacking midfield, and maybe have got by with a Fred and a McTominay and Matic in defensive midfield. But we're lacking numbers. We're lacking numbers. We're lacking quality. The only midfielder that would get into any of our rivals is Paul Pogba.
We're doubting these guys, man. We've had times in the past where Darren Fletcher's come in and done 9, 10 out of 10 seasons.
But Darren Fletcher had Roy Keane and Paul Scholes.
Who knows what the likes of
Owen Hargreaves?
I'm saying there's players in our team currently, midfielders, who we've maybe not seen enough of to make our mind up on. Fred could have an absolute dynamite of a season this year.
Too many question marks.
There's so many question marks at the minute. But we've not had them answered yet. Who knows?
It's like, right, you mentioned there Darren Fletcher and you were saying about how he had a Keane and all the rest of it. You can get away with bringing players through. We always said this, when you've got a very good team of experienced, international, top quality players, yeah? So when you bring in someone like a Darren Fletcher to play alongside Keane or to play alongside Carrick or whatever, it's a lot easier. When you're throwing in Scott McTominay as your holding midfielder alongside a Nemanja Matic whose legs have gone, or you're putting in a Pereira who the question marks whether he's a Premier League player are still there. In a team,
pressure on too many.
Yeah, in a team that's made up of quite a few.
And we used to
Well,
be
this is
able
what
to
I'm
get
saying.
away with
You
being
know,
able to
it's-
carry one
Well,
player.
this is what I'm saying.
Two
That's what I mean.
players.
One.
Mate, you know,
About
how many-
6, mate.
How many players? How many? Like Tom Cleverley's got a Premier League winners medal. No
Yeah.
disrespect to Tom Cleverley.
New
right?
Scholes.
But, yeah, Anderson's got about 5. Do you know what I mean? Like, why did these players win all these titles? It wasn't because they were amazing. It was because they were in a team full of superstars. Now we're not at that level.
Marcus Rashford and Anthony Martial for a Fergie side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, I wish those boys never spent 2-3 years with Mourinho, man.
Look, and you know, it's that easy for us to criticise these players and think, you know, we've not seen a lot from some of these boys, or we're not seeing enough for us to be confident for the new season. But the players who, like you say, have question marks over them, we're not sure if they're good enough yet. Which means next season they
But
could
one
step
person
on.
I know not
Luke
good
Shaw
enough, Matic.
could step up from last season. He had an alright season last season. Next season he could be brilliant.
Our defence
Same
ain't
with
an issue.
Lindelof could be brilliant. Same with Fred. McTominay could step up. But this is the problem. We're relying on so many question marks coming good.
If it was
next
1 or
season.
2, if it was like maybe Shaw will step up, even though I get where you come from defence. Maybe Fred could be an answer. But you're saying maybe Shaw, maybe Fred, maybe McTominay, maybe, you know,
and
I
then
don't know, maybe we can rely on one of the youngsters. It's just a lot to ask.
Even players who have been here a few years, Marcus Rashford, there's still question marks over him in some respects.
Yeah.
Is he right to lead the line? Martial, is he right to start every week? You know what I mean?
06, 07 time.
06, 07 time for them boys.
I tell you what.
Rooney Ronaldo season coming. Rooney Ronaldo 06, 07 is Martial, Rashford.
Do you know what, right? People forget, right? Going back to that, the 06, 07
winning the
season.
league.
Do you remember after 06, right? I'm not lying to you. When England got knocked out of the World Cup and Ronaldo winked, the amount of journalists who were saying Fergie should get rid of Ronaldo was a joke, right?
United fans that were saying that.
Get rid of him. He's a disgrace. He's overrated.
I knew that wink at that time meant nothing to do with winning.
It was in the days after the game. Everybody was pissed and angry.
No, and I think you said it, didn't you, Andy? You defending yourself.
I wanted Ronaldo. God, no fuck. Because it was fucking with England. You just got shafted in the quarterfinals. You know what I mean? But
who cares? Look,
we got
this is
right.
what happened,
This is the thing, yeah.
Listen, Ronaldo. This is what happened. Rooney got sent off. Good, he should have got sent off. Rooney gets sent off, walks off the pitch. Ronaldo's manager then says to him, "Yo, Ronnie, can push up a little bit now. You know, a bit more space," and he goes, "No problem."
Winks.
That's all that happened. Something happened like that.
Yeah,
He
but
went,
you're missing.
"No problem."
You know what English football fans are like. It's never our fault.
And then also, secondly, United are greater than England. We all agree.
Yeah.
That doesn't stop people being England fans.
So who
though.
cares about? You don't put England above United. It's that simple.
No,
Ronaldo is a United. So forget that. But there was rumours at the time he was going to leave anyway.
But his house got vandalised, didn't it? There was rumours he was going to leave.
Rumours that he wanted to leave. Those rumours that he
The
wanted
press
to
did
leave.
what they did best with like United and England.
burning United shirts with Ronaldo on. I remember seeing
Who?
that. People were burning Ronaldo shirts.
I'm glad social media went.
No,
about
not
them
United
times.
fans though.
No, not
That
United
was,
fans. But I just remember
rival
people.
fans. That's the Scousers that burn their own shirts, isn't it? With like
Viva
Suarez
Ronaldo.
and
Gerrard. When he
was
wanted to
gonna
go to Chelsea.
So,
Yeah.
so the
I remember
so the
that,
gangster
yeah.
sat him down
Gerrard.
and told him, "You're not going anywhere."
Yeah,
son.
do you remember when Gerrard wants to leave Liverpool and then he was like, "Yeah, I've had a change of heart. I really love this place, but not because you had like a
Look,
bomb
yeah.
in the mail or something."
Not because there's 8 guys in balaclavas.
Imagine that was when he wants to go Chelsea. Imagine he wants to go United or something.
Nah, that's what I mean. Remember when Rooney was 40, he thought he might be going to City.
Yeah, some people
Written on
turned
his
up at
wall
their
as
house.
well. Yeah. Rio's house when the masked geezers went to his house.
That's what I mean.
Rio when he was he rejected a contract.
Yeah,
He was in
that was
contract
the sort
negotiation. He got
yeah.
pictured with Peter Kenyon.
Was that when Red Issue started
Johnson.
calling him Wobble Gob or something like that? Started calling Wobble Gob.
Red
Tosser,
Issue
I
was
think.
amazing, wasn't it?
It was back in the day.
Mate,
Like
do you
I
remember
used to read like the first time I bought Red Issue was by accident because I thought it was the official program. Like when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Reading it on the way home like
Yeah.
Dad!
this program is raw.
God, it was good Red Issue
And then I
back
would
in the
just
day.
then I had it from every week after that.
All
It
the
was-
characters: Bertie Magoo, the
Yeah.
bit
Bertie
of
Magoo,
blue,
the bit of
Jimmy
blue.
Reeves, the man from Leeds.
My favourite was the
Sticky
J Stan
Fingers.
Grumbler.
Yeah, what?
The
Jay Stan, he was the best
Grumbler.
one. That was the
Yeah,
best
Case
one.
favourite.
Sticky Fingers, the thieving
Yeah.
scouts. You know what I mean?
But you know what's weird? Like a lot of the cartoons that were in fanzines back in the day, like the jokes, are those jokes that you get sent 1,000 times on WhatsApp by your uncle, and you're just like, God's sake, it's the kind of thing he loves. You know, look,
he sends it, man.
Humour. I love fanzine humour. I don't care. I love dad humour.
We miss fanzines, but the fanzines that are there, United We Stand and Red News, make sure you support them.
Buy it.
Yeah,
when you're at the ground.
When
you're at the ground, buy the fanzine.
Because the thing is, like, half time, you can't get any signal anyway. You need something to read. So
and the official magazine's like, we're sitting 6th in the league, and the official magazine's like talking all happiness.
Yeah, I know. You don't want that.
When Van Gaal was manager, me and Tomo were doing the quiz at United We Stand, and everyone was joining us in the middle of the game. We were sat with a quiz, and everyone was joining in, and it was like halfway through the first half because the football was that dire.
I can see that.
It was like, oh, I know that one. Yeah,
it's a pub quiz at Old Trafford.
Mark Robbins, and it was just like, we sat there for like 20 minutes, just did a quiz.
Mega.
So yeah, hopefully we'll be doing that this season. Otherwise, the wheels have proper come off.
Good fun, man.
Yeah, man.
If you're watching this before, or you're listening to this before deadline day is done, we've got a whole host of stuff on the YouTube channel for you. We're going to be live throughout the day. We don't know how we're doing this. Whether it's one continuous stream from 12 to 5, 2 to 5. But it's going to be something.
I've done one of these before. We've done this before on transfer deadline day. Like, yes, let's do a live stream all day. We signed fucking no one.
Yeah, I remember that. I did it. Was it me? The last
was it me
couple
and
of years?
you?
Yeah.
It was me and you.
City announced Guardiola, didn't they, on deadline day in January? They announced it. I remember that. Yeah.
No, it weren't deadline day.
No, it was a deadline day.
Was it? Oh, sorry, yeah. I'm thinking of when they announced.
January,
when they announced
deadline day, and City announced Guardiola.
Pellegrini was leaving because I remember it was at the press conference.
I remember one of the first deadline days we covered. There was no live streaming then. So we just recorded like 4 or 5 different videos throughout the day. United never signed anyone. So it was just me sat in a room recording loads of different videos trying to talk about things like... It was
Yeah, deadline
I think
day
it was David Moyes' first summer not first summer, the first January that was.
Oh, the first January.
But we got Matt, didn't we, before the deadline?
Yeah, halfway through, wasn't it?
Yeah, we got Fellaini the window before.
Yeah. That deadline day under Moyes, in terms of just comedy value and entertainment, was probably the best. Because you had like the imposters for the Ander Herrera thing. You had the half 10 bid for Fabio Quantrao.
And then he was
crying.
Yeah.
Crying in the changing room.
It was just funny.
You know when you only know you wanted something for half an hour, but you're still really gutted when you don't get it.
It was just madness. And it was like...
A couple of years ago, you see, on deadline day, you see the Arsenal fans when they sound Mesut Ozil, and they think, oh yeah, I'm going to do this, going to do that.
Yeah, no, it's true as well, because a lot of times you hear about, there's players you really gutted about missing out on. And you look at them now and it's like, where are they? Where are they now?
I know, man. I know.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like, there's so many players, and you think about it over the years that you've been gutted to miss out on.
Somebody threw a dildo live on Sky once.
No,
remember
that? Held it in the guy's ear.
Sky deadline days, the best bit about it is, you go to Watford, see the fans there, go to Chelsea, go to United, and then it's like, and now over to Stoke, and it's just the gremlins behind the presenter.
Do you remember when they were like cheering? I think it was Cameron Jerome or someone they bought. He got like 1 goal in his career, and they're like, yeah.
Turned up in a tag.
That's going to be us when we sign Lukaku and sign Cameron Jerome and a free.
But do you know what? The deadline day that always smashes it for me, even though it's actually the beginning and the end, so it should have been sad because City bought Robinho. Yeah. Was like...
I remember the picture through Old Trafford through the glass. Where it was really
shaking
dark.
Hand with Fergie,
yeah.
Wasn't the suggestion that Fergie went to Manchester Airport to pick him up?
I think that was nonsense. But
I like to say that was
good
real.
Because it was exciting. It was funny as well because I remember like all the shit was going on with City had just got all this money and were trying to buy anyone they could. And then like Robinho, because he wanted out of Real Madrid so badly, he didn't even know where he was going. He was like, he thought he was going to Chelsea, didn't he? Do you remember his press conference when he said, as soon as Chelsea came in for me, I was happy to leave. And someone said, you've signed for Manchester City, and he was like, oh yeah, them as well. And like they got Robinho, and he like went to the Etihad, and you had like 3 people outside the Etihad go, hey, we got Robinho.
That was the maddest thing, because
rubbing their Kaka tattoos.
Yeah. Like, what is going on here? What is he doing there?
Kaka, Torres, Ronaldo, Henry, they were getting them all.
That's what I mean. They were bidding for everyone.
But if you remember Blackburn when the Venkis first went in. Letting Indians down, by the way, these Venkis.
Mate.
When Venkis first got in, they were linked immediately to Beckham and Ronaldinho. And Ronaldinho
what year was the Venkis?
In talks. It was.
Do you know when the Venkis? Do you know why Venkis sacked Allardyce?
2010 Venkis coming.
Was it?
Because you remember when we played. You'll know this because you love him. We played Blackburn and Berbatov scored 5 goals and we won 7-1. The Venky's invited all the mates over, right? Because I used to cover Blackburn as a reporter. They invited all the mates over from India to Old Trafford. And we're like, we've bought Blackburn. This is our club playing Manchester United. We're at Old Trafford. This is us. And we got absolutely battered 7-1.
Back to the chicken.
Who's the manager? He's gone. Get Steve Keane in.
Steve Keane! Fuck off, Steve
What
Keane.
a blast from the past, Steve.
Mad. Not heard that name since he was a manager.
I like playing this game with people. Just say random names from football past
That's mad though.
that you haven't heard of in a long time.
Steve
Like Phil Babb.
Jason McAteer.
Oh, mate.
Benito Carboni. Remember him? He was
Oh,
good.
mate.
Gold boots.
Muzzy, is it?
Leicester City. That reminds me of one season when I used to collect fancy Premier League stickers. Muzzy Is It was in every fucking pack.
I used to have this problem with El Hadj Diouf.
I remember the card, the exact card, and his smile looking back at you every time.
Every single time.
do you know
Bolton,
what?
right.
El Hadj Diouf was just on a different level.
I'd have loved him at
Madness.
United.
Really?
Yeah,
Just
He-
mental.
he was
Not when he
mental
spat at me.
Football
Just
stickers.
tripping.
Football stickers.
Hey, you know what, right? Yeah, you know what? We're talking about El Hadj Diouf, and it's reminding me.
No, we're talking random football names.
Right, well, should we talk a little bit about... I don't want to bring the tone down, but the situation at Bolton, situation at Bury.
Right.
What's happening with those
With the
two?
Wanky Wanderers.
Right, two football
Haven't they got like
clubs
4 first-team players?
that have an incredible history in this city, and how it has been allowed to get to this situation where they don't know when they're going to be playing, they don't know if they can play the players, they don't know if they're going to be a football club even for much longer. I don't understand it with the amount of money in the English game that any club can get like that, especially a club like Bolton, who were in the Premier League not long ago.
I understand when people say there needs to be fail-safes in place to stop this from happening in football and protections. I disagree with that because ultimately football clubs are businesses. So football clubs are businesses and an owner just absolutely fucks them up. You can't then just bail them out.
I don't think football
You can't just bail them out. Like, so it doesn't make sense. But I understand, like, there needs to be more done in terms of vetting people who buy.
Totally.
This is
Now with
down
this
to
with this
EFL.
fit and proper stuff, I think it's absolute rubbish. Anyone can buy a football club. Like
When
it's
Portsmouth
just
had 9
happening all the
owners or
time,
something
and that's where
in
it
a year.
needs to be resolved. Who buys football clubs and how they get vetted, rather than football needs to save these clubs. Because ultimately football doesn't need to save these clubs. Why should clubs that have why should clubs that have managed to run themselves properly and be financially sensible have to bail out another business that has just gone broke?
We're saying this as Manchester United fans about £700 million
But
in debt.
Imagine Tesco goes broke tomorrow and Lidl are like,
Yeah, but I know what you mean.
I'll save
Tesco
you.
doesn't have thousands of fans who turn up every week
He has millions
supporting
of
it, and
customers.
it means a lot to them in the heart. If they
You
lose
tell that
Tesco,
to
they go
Betty who goes
Sainsbury's
there every
instead.
Friday?
Yeah, but if they lose Tesco, they go Sainsbury's instead. If you lose your football club, you're not going to start following
No, I
another
know
football
that, but
club.
ultimately they are businesses.
So there should
and
be-
if they are mismanaged
they
and they're
shouldn't
running
be.
to the ground, then you can't expect free money.
They shouldn't
to
be
save
classed
them.
as
No,
normal
I think-
businesses.
He's got a point.
They're
He's got a point,
they're
but-
too important to the community.
Yeah,
They
exactly. If your town hasn't got a football team, it's wiped off the map. You lose your identity.
There needs to be more involved in fan ownership.
Yes.
And more protections in place for people who are taking over clubs. Maybe there needs to be a central bank account where they leave X amount of money just so you know that you can afford wages and so on for an extra year if you end up with £0. Maybe something like that needs to be done.
Because you're talking about it, right? You know, the prim and proper person test, whatever, is a load of garbage. We've seen clubs at the lower end. Was it Chester who went under and had to start again? It was a different club. Who were like being used for money laundering. We've seen like, you know, just people who've just got no money saying, yeah, we'll buy this club. Like at Pompey, where they had an owner after owner and then it was just administrator.
Pompey.
I was going to say,
Julius
wasn't it?
Caesar.
That's a big accident.
That's how we pronounce it in Salford, don't you know? Pompey. And it's like, I know what you're saying about now. You're saying like, oh, we should help them out or bail them out, and it's like, you know, it's like the banking crisis. Not to get all deep, but why should we all bail out people that have just
Look at Coventry
not done
City.
well?
Look
You know
at,
what I mean?
They're playing their own games now at Birmingham.
At St Andrews, yeah.
Yeah, St Andrews. So basically, the town hasn't got a football team. You got to go out 10 miles up the road to go and watch your football team when it's not in the city centre. Because they have to rent the ground for
Like
some,
America when they.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, let's move
Teams
the franchise over to the other side of the world, other side of the country.
You won't put it past them gobshites at Old Trafford to move the club and fucking move it somewhere else. And if it's possible, it won't happen.
Bring it to Cheshire.
You know, like
Cheshire
in The
Reds,
Simpsons,
Cheshire United.
You get a helicopter just come up and pick the stadium up.
The isotopes.
Down the M6.
Yeah, the isotopes. Yeah, remember that? Yeah.
Mate.
Oh, God.
I blame Manchester City.
Random football names.
It's all their fault.
If this season goes like it is, then I hope
Darren
drop Old Trafford
Huckabee.
to the sea.
Darren Huckabee.
That's a great name, Darren Huckabee.
James Beattie.
Oh.
Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank.
Oh. I remember a 3-3 draw. Claudio Ranieri's first game at Old Trafford. First game as Chelsea manager. I was at that match. We drew 3-3. I was devastated then. When we used to draw games, it used to feel like a defeat to young.
Yeah, that was our team. From 99 to 2001, we could not be touched. We were the fucking top dog in fucking English football. And you could go to the stadium. You could go to the stadium and go, we ain't gonna lose this. Walk out with a smile on your face. But like I say, when we drew with that, I thought, fucking hell, feels like a defeat. 3-3 with Chelsea.
I remember losing against 2001 FA Cup or 2001 when Barthez did that to Di Canio. And I remember leaving like. That was the first defeat I saw. United.
Really?
That wasn't. No. The first. I saw United lose 3-0 against York City. Actually.
Oh shit!
Oh, that was cold-blooded murder.
He was in the York City team. He went on to win the Champions League with Manchester United.
Jonathan Green.
Oh, he's got it.
What was your first game? Do you remember your first game?
My first game was Southampton in the mid-80s, but I don't remember it very well. Other than Peter Shilton was in it for Southampton, and I recognised him off the telly because I was only about 5. But the first game I remember properly was in the Rumbelows Cup against the Scousers, and we won 3-1. And Mark Hughes scored an absolute worldie from about 25 yards.
I remember mine, 1983, United v West Bromwich Albion. Arthur Graham got 2. Gordon McQueen, actually I was stood at the front with my dad, and Gordon McQueen, I was waving at him, and he's like, give me the thumbs up. When you're like 6, 7, 8 years old, you buzz off that. 8 years old.
What was your first game?
Sheffield Wednesday, we won.
Oh, you told me that.
Scholes, he scored as well. I was about 5, 6. Sheffield Wednesday. I always have a thing for Sheffield Wednesday.
I think 2001 or 2002. When was it that we played Leverkusen at Old Trafford and we drew, but it knocked us out the Champions League on away goals.
2-2 draw with Ballack scored. And
I was at that. That was my first United.
You were at the
game.
Old Trafford game.
Yeah.
I was Ballack scored in that game.
It was the first leg. It was the first leg, wasn't it? Because we had to go over there to win.
Yeah, and then when we went there, Forlan hit the bar.
In the last minute, off the line in the last minute as well.
What's that?
By Leverkusen, we went out on away.
That was my first game.
Week later, Arsenal won the league at Old Trafford.
Remember that? We lost a couple of semis. Dortmund knocked out one semi.
Dortmund, Monaco.
I remember my mate came up to me in a club once and he went, there's a guy over there in a Dortmund top. He's going to get done in at the end of this night. I was like, what?
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Nothing happened to him. We were only 17. Give us a break.
We're only 17 with Shanks. Random football names, go.
Oh, fucking don't put me on the spot. I don't know.
David White.
Oh, mate.
Dean Saunders.
Oh, Adi Akinbaye.
Pierre Van Hooijdonk. Oh, that's a name.
Nigel Rio-Coker.
Oh, that's a great one. Remember when he was linked with United for a long time?
Shaka Hislop.
Shaka Hislop.
I'm just thinking that West Ham FA Cup
Best
final
black
team.
goalkeeper ever. Shaka Hislop.
Shaka Hislop was Shaka Hislop was an absolute tank, mate.
Does Tim Howard not qualify?
Maybe. I got Tim Howard signed.
Saying that, I'll never forgive Tim Howard for Porto.
I've got Tim Howard signed and
Tim
worn
fucking
gloves.
Howard.
Signed and worn gloves, Tim Howard. So if anyone wants to buy them off me.
It's £3.
You know what I used to remember? I used to love watching him when we'd have a free kick to defend. And he'd just be there swearing at everyone. It's like standing there lining up this free kick. Sorry if anyone's got Tourette's, but it was funny, like just watching him there. Like,
we don't mean it in an offensive way. It's
like, fuck shit.
Do you know what's funny as well? What's going on? You got Tim Howard signed gloves. My missus got a signed Romelu Lukaku top.
Oh yeah? Actually won at FullTimeDEVILS quiz. That definitely wasn't fixed.
She's like, actually, what should I do with this? So just fucking sit in the bin. No one's gonna want it. Then she's like, can I get the writing off it?
Oh, imagine that. Getting an autograph.
Oh. You know it come off.
We'll just wear it and wash it until it goes.
Mate, like, don't
Can do that. It can be done.
Lukaku top.
I still got my Mourinho signed shirt.
Who's the one player though, Macca? Talk about random footballers that United were linked with that we didn't get.
Patrick Kluivert.
That you regret the most.
Patrick Kluivert.
Yeah.
Andy Tate.
And Ronaldinho, actually.
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. In my lifetime, he's the main one.
But Patrick Kluivert was, when I was a kid, I remember just before we signed Dwight York, it was like, oh, fucking Kluivert's going to come to you. He's going to come to United. And then he went to Barcelona, didn't he?
He went to Barcelona. I remember we were all chanting to him in '99, you should have signed for a big club.
And then Dwight York came to us. And I was upset, like, oh, we're signing a bloody Villa striker. Like, Villa is shit. Like, who cares? And
the Dutch lad
obviously
went to Bayern Munich. Oh, what was it? Oh, he's just retired now.
Wesley Schneider.
Schneider.
He never went to Bayern Munich.
I remember him.
He played for Bayern Munich?
No, never.
Schneider
played for Bayern Munich.
I don't know.
Inter Milan.
Inter Milan, yeah.
Galatasaray.
Yeah, I remember him, but I thought he was linked with United and we didn't get him.
I was a little bit good, but not like, oh, mate.
No, I wanted him.
I think for me it was Ronaldinho. Because it looked so much like it was happening. You're in school.
No, it was happening.
Lads!
It was happening.
Ronaldinho's coming.
And we never sold Barcelona Beckham. So then they had the money left to go and get Ronaldinho.
Mate, for me,
so if we sold them Beckham, we would have got Ronaldinho, but we wouldn't have got Cristiano Ronaldo.
See, it's interesting, isn't it?
For me, it was Batistuta. Loved Batistuta.
Remember when he scored? See,
he would have been mental.
I just have weird memories. Roy Carroll when he let one through his hands.
Oh, mate.
I was behind that goal.
Yeah.
Right.
Pissed off, like fucking Roy Carroll. But then I was half of me was like, I've got to see Batistuta.
That's what I mean.
Right, we've done so much reminiscing in today's podcast.
No, but can I just say something about Batistuta?
Go on.
When you go home, everyone, watch. There's a free kick he scored for Fiorentina, which is about 6 yards, 7 yards out. It was obviously a pass back. And you never see the ball move. You just hear the net go. Like it makes a surreal noise. Please go and find that goal and watch it and just listen to the net noise.
Gonna have to have a listen to that. But yeah, we've done loads of reminiscing in today's podcast, but let's not forget we are starting the Premier League season. Yeah, this is the last podcast.
The reason we're reminiscing
insight
is
and
because
analysis you get on full-time Devils.
We reminisce about times when we were successful to say this.
Yeah,
it's coming back.
It's all right. A nice link. It's a lead. It's leading. You see,
exactly. And we've had teams poorer than the team we've got this season and won the league with it.
We haven't.
No, we haven't.
No, probably not.
Shite.
Probably not. Really.
Never has that happened in the history of Manchester United football.
Probably not. Actually, yeah, you're probably right there.
You can literally pick any Premier League winning team we've ever had, or any league winning team we've ever had, and it's better than our current squad.
Because the midfield is just
Fergie's last season.
The only
Fergie's last season. Are you nuts? For me, Rio's best season. I'm not. I still say that.
And you know what? Rooney was even good for the first Moyes season.
No, I wasn't.
He was our best player that season.
Was sick. Carrick was still.
Van Persie dragged us. Van Persie dragged us for a few months.
And then you're looking at back four. You know, Rio. I thought had a mint season.
Rafa,
Evra, Vidic had his last. Well, he's obviously
that pissed me off. Let's not talk about that because I love Vidic and what he did that season really.
Right, all right then. Who's starting first game of the season? What's the team?
We're changing our mind now. I said Lukaku.
I think
last time.
I would say.
No, I'm going to do this.
That
in the
defence has picked itself for Sunday, definitely.
So De Gea,
Maguire,
Lindelof.
That's it. It's all
Wan-Bissaka
and Shaw.
Defence is done.
McTominay.
It's got to be McTominay, Pogba.
Lingard.
I can see Mata.
No. Is his front three not Lingard, Martial, and Rashford?
Lingard, Martial, Rashford, Mata. I think.
I can see. Yeah, that Mata.
I don't think Daniel James will start. And I don't think he should start.
I think he'll play a part though.
Yeah, he'll come off.
He'll come on
if we need him, especially.
I think we're going to beat Chelsea 3-0.
I think it's going to be a shit game, mate. Shit game, 0-0.
Hopefully, I hope it's not one of them.
VAR will fuck up this season. It will.
We ain't even got a screen at Old Trafford to watch.
I know, yeah.
So are we gonna know what the hell's going on?
You know what United should do? They should make an app. Well, first they need to give everyone Wi-Fi connection in there.
Where we can got the app.
The VAR decisions on our phones.
Mate, that surely calls right.
That's an idea there.
You
got all these sponsors at United. Get an app sponsor. You've got an app.
But will we have to unfollow it again though?
Oh yeah, shit.
That's the thing. I wasn't even following the United thing, so I had to follow them.
Here's one for
unfollow them all.
Uninstall
just a waste of 10 minutes in my life.
VAR this season. Will a team walk off the pitch?
No,
Andy.
No, seriously. No, seriously. If it's controversial, someone's I just want to say,
go on.
a team, some team it'll cost them something at the end of the season, or during the season, will a team walk off?
You two twats. I fucking hope a team walks off now, and I can fucking play that back to you and say, Andy told you.
Do you remember when Lil started to walk off when
Gary Neville started getting involved and Fergie went mad at him?
Anything's possible in football. A team can walk off. All right, they might go back on after 5 minutes, but the stadium will be absolute
sort of thing Liverpool would do. You know it. I mean? You know Klopp's getting his team off the pitch.
A Premier League prediction like that.
A mad Premier League prediction.
That's for 5 minutes.
All right, an animal that's going to be on the pitch at some point in the season.
That happens every year.
Yeah, well, what's the animal going to be? Predict.
It's always a cat at Goodison Park.
Did you see that referee? Was it in Bolivia the other day? Who did the VAR sign when they ain't got VAR in that league? You not seen it? He did a decision, like he blew a whistle, and then he ran over to the sideline, and he pointed to the penalty spot and went like that. And then like everyone on Twitter was saying like this is like it went viral. This is a guy.
So he basically someone told him the decision and he pretended.
He pretended it was VAR like the linesman or someone. So he went like that.
Is that your Wally of the week?
I don't know. I quite liked him, man. I think I was setting examples.
Did you Wally of the week, Gaz? Before we go. I am Madam McCullough.
Dybala.
No, really? Yeah, I don't know.
No, Lukaku.
Yeah.
I think I'm probably going to go Lukaku. What's he playing at?
Yeah, I'll go.
Train at the club you're currently at. There's no need to go back to Anderlecht. It's just, it's embarrassing. Train at Man United, wait till your deal's sorted, then go. If it don't get sorted, guess what, mate? You're staying in the reserves. Get used to it.
Oh.
Pay you enough.
I go with Lukaku as well. You've made your bed, lay in it and rot.
Oh.
It's difficult not to say Lukaku. Just the way he's treated us, man. It's just shabby.
Full house for Romelu Lukaku on this week's Wally of the Week. I totally agree with everyone. There's ways to go around it if you want to leave. If you're not first choice, you consider yourself to be first choice elsewhere. Happy days, you do that. But don't take the piss out of Manchester United. The club that's paying your wages, don't be, go and train at Carrington. What's your problem? They've got facilities there. Go and use them. If you want to act professional, because that's what I think he's trying to give the impression. I'm an actual professional. So here I am, look, I'm training still with Anderlecht. If you're an actual professional, go to your football club that pays your wages, get your training in, and then wait for your move. But the thing is Belen's been running his mouth on Twitter and posting stuff that he shouldn't have. Probably got a bollocking already from the club. Definitely. So therefore, his teammates and his manager are already pissed off with him. They probably don't even want to see his face. So the ability for him to act professional is gone by the fact that he acts like a clown online. I'm ashamed. I'm disappointed by that, Romelu. Like, I really am. I really wanted him to come to the club. I really wanted him to be a success. He hasn't been. And whilst some things could have been different, whilst he probably didn't deserve as much abuse as he gets online and stuff, I think you handle yourself differently, and I think he's gone about it the wrong way. So you fully deserve Wally of the Week. Yeah,
I think you're right, mate. You make the comparison with Pogba, and he got on with it in pre-season, didn't you? You were there. You saw him in the training and all the rest of it, meeting the fans.
I mean, to be honest, I'm reserving judgment with Pogba a little bit. I want to see how he actually plays. I want to see if he plays like he wants to play it. And
he has been.
Yeah, but
I know it's only pre-season, but
yeah, let's
wait. Some of the stuff.
I know, but give it a sec. Let's see. I think he's gonna. I think he's gonna turn up against Chelsea.
Anyway, guys, that's been the Full Time Devils podcast. Remember, deadline day will be live all throughout the day. We've got the Chelsea preview coming for you very, very soon this week as well. It'll be another Skype preview. Fan cams at the weekend. And loads more stuff in the pipeline. So keep it locked to Full Time Devils. Make sure you're checking these guys out on social media as well. Gaz has got a new show on BBC Radio Manchester.
Weekday, 6 p.m, Talking Balls, get on it.
Monday to Friday, 6 to 7. Is it 6 till 7? p.m. Him and his co-host, which isn't me. How dare he? Talking balls.
Matt to phone up and cause you some trouble.
You're welcome anytime.
We've got Andy Tate on the line.
Listening for Andy Tate on Gaz's show. But yeah, guys, keep it locked. Make sure you check out The Athletic as well. The link is in the description below for The Athletic for your free trial using the Full Time Devils link. With all that being said, all that's left to say is United are winning the league.
Oh, come on, don't
clip that up. Clip it up, mate. Inject that into my veins, that clip.
Because I know it's a joke.